Frankie hit a line. Screwing the man cave in. He hit one of the water lines. Luckily, we can peel the wall back. We haven't started siliconing it yet. So we can peel it back, peel it down, and hopefully find and fix whatever problem.
Yeah, it's got to be it. Just one.
We were doing the water test, and well, it's a lot of screws. We've gotten lucky for the most part, but it happens. So a couple details that I want to show you. If it's going to be tough to look out the window, but we can maybe do a better close-up job here. You can see how we folded it over. Now this, we're not even beginning to get the siliconing in yet. But you can see how we've done the detail work adjacent to the windows. And then here's the shower heads. You can see one shower head there, and then the other one is here. And in a structure like this, that skylight, it's almost critical. So we've got this light in. This is our main light. We've got a secondary light in this corner. We don't, those aren't the finish, that's not the finish light. That is. And we have done a fake wall. It's not fake, it's a wall. But we did a partial wall to separate out the shower area, which Frankie's in now, from the rest of the area. Why can't I talk today? What the heck is wrong with my tongue? All right. Well, Frankie, I'm gonna go unload lumber. You just do what you gotta do.
Okay.
And then I'll come in and start siliconing on the other part of the build.
Yeah, everything else, all the other walls can be
done.
Yeah.
Do you need pipe?
Pipe? No, I did a piece of coupling. Hopefully I got one, I'm not sure. I'm thinking I do.
And there's the whiny coonhound that protected Cassidy from a coyote attack. Alright, some of you guys probably want to know what the story is behind what I just said. My 20-year-old daughter was jogging down the path running that dog when two coyotes jumped out and went after her. That dog tore off its leash and went after those coyotes, chased them off into the woods, and we basically lost her for the whole night. The police ended up bringing the dog back hours later, and I don't know how she did it, but that dog didn't have a scratch on her. So kudos to that dog. It pretty much earned its place in my house. This shower it's meant to make you feel like you're actually in a cave, partially outside. It uses molded rock. It's actually made out of Duraliner, but it's impregnated with stone to make it actually look and feel like real rock work. Now this room is 10 by 10, It has a vaulted ceiling with a skylight, 2 inside shower heads and 1 outside shower heads. We also mounted lights in the walls, which was really difficult. But these lights are from Inlight, and they're designed to be outside, so it's completely watertight. This flooring is by Moisture Shield. This flooring can actually stay submerged indefinitely without ever rotting or deteriorating. The idea to this room was to make you feel like you are walking into nature instead of walking into a bathroom. So before we start actually covering up all of the seams, I want to show them to you. So you guys know exactly where they're at. Like right here's a whole bunch of seams. You know, obviously there, around the windows. And so we're gonna have a lot of seaming to do, but I want to point them out now so that we can look and see the results, how they look after the fact. And I think one of the most obvious ones is right here. So that's an important one that, let's just see if we can make that disappear. Well, I'll be totally honest with you. We are learning a lot of this as we go along. I don't really care if you want to judge me on that or not. But one of the things that we're learning is really glad we didn't sheetrock this room, because that's useless. Sheetrock is a backer board for this stuff. Might as well not even do it. But light plywood, this would have been ideal if we could have light plywooded the entire room, because that would give us the ability to screw into the wall anywhere, but more importantly, try to find the little tiny divots in the wall so we could hide the screws better. I mean, we're gonna hide them anyway, but that's what we're learning. So what we're doing right now is we kind of made an executive decision. I'm pulling apart the end of the wall, and I'm going to put plywood backer board where the joint seams are. Right, so here's the screw. We're just going to be using any screw that's got a little bit fatter of a head.
Washer style.
Washer style. All right. So the truth is, hiding the joints isn't tough at all. It's just time consuming, but it's actually kind of fun, and it actually does require more of an artistic talent. The tools are pretty simple. A caulk gun, 100% silicone, and some stone dust. Now, when I picked up these rock walls, they actually gave me 3 different colors of stone dust to work with, and at first, I tried to keep them separate and use them individually. But what I found out was, actually we had so many joint spaces to do that I ended up literally just starting to take dirt and dust, gray dirt and dust, mix it all together and throw it onto the silicone, and then use a paintbrush like you see in my hand there and just dab that in. And then when I wanted some different colors, I would take the 3 colors that they sent me and use those, kind of like Bob Ross does, just happily dab them on here and there. But after doing an entire room, I found out the fastest, easiest way to do it was just throw gray dirt on top of the wall, dab it in, and use some colors to blend everything together, and the joints disappear. It was actually really fun. All right, Frankie, show me what you did.
Okay, I had to redo some plumbing back here.
Yeah, we broke a couple lines there.
So what I did, I just cut the rock. Well, now I'm just going to put a splice right over the top of it. So, find out how I want to do it. Like that, now I'll just screw them off. And do it, and I got myself a patch.
And then we just seam around it and
caulk it, yeah.
Caulk it, and we're good to go.
Yeah.
stonework up. Now what I got to do is I got to go through and I got to touch up all the joint spaces. You can see everywhere that we connected the stonework together. I've got to go through and put silicone and then stone dust on top of it to make sure that all of the seams blend together, because everywhere you see where there's a curve, we actually had to do some seaming work and then build shelves out of this stonework. And this is actually real stone, but it's also made out of Duraliner so that it's hard like a rock, impregnated with stone on the top, but it's also flexible enough that we can create shapes out of it.
It's basically like a truck bed liner.
Okay.
Okay, and we've done a few little things different with that. We don't use any paint to color it. We use crushed rock and sand to color it. And it's embedded in the material and on it. And then we back it up. If we need it to be structural, we'll back it up with some polyurethane high density structural foam.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's what gives it the three-dimensional feel. So you've got the texture built into the rock work, but then you can actually make it more three-dimensional by
bending it and twisting it if you want. And that's not for every application, but you'll see what I'm showing you now. You'll see how you can do that.
So if, let's say you take a typical 4x8 sheet, Brian, or Stu, sorry. How much does a 4x8 sheet weigh?
Oh, like 20 pounds. 20 something pounds, but you could drive a car over it and not hurt it. You can hit it with a hammer, which we'll do. I'll show you all this stuff later today.
Yep. All right, guys, this is where I'm going to jump in, because this is the part of the story that got me really excited. Now, he has never made stone facades or stone veneers yet, but when I went down to Texas, I talked him into starting to do this thing, because if you guys can imagine a 4x8 sheet of this stuff, 32 square feet, weighing 20 pounds and going up in minutes, compared to trying to lay this stuff out typically brick by brick, stone by stone, and the sheer weight of this thing and the process of it, this is night and day different. This is so much easier than the old techniques that stonemasons are used to using, and it lasts forever. So I'm gonna put a link to this stuff down below, because the door of possibilities is open. You no longer have to be a mason to put this stuff up. You can be a handyman, have a Milwaukee screw gun or a DeWalt or a Makita, I don't care, pick one. Know how to drill some screws into a wall, and you can make something look really cool really fast.
So it's light, but it's just so durable, which makes it perfect for what we're using it for.
How long do you think it'll last in an outdoor application? If somebody wants to stick this on the front of their house as a facade, how long do you anticipate something like this lasting?
Well, I didn't know how long this would last when I started it. No one was doing it the same way I was doing it. So I've been going 21 years. I've seen stuff back at home in my sister's house and on some buildings and zoos that is between 12 and 18 years old.
12
Still looks fantastic.
Still looks fantastic.
Yeah. There's margins for the landscapers to make money.
Okay.
There's plenty of margin, and there's margin, obviously, the quick install. One of the things you probably find sometimes is it goes up so quickly, it's almost like you want to go and have lunch and come back and make the day take a little longer for what you might charge the customers.
I've actually had that. This is a true story, Stu. I was demolishing a swimming pool.
Yep.
And it takes me 3.5 days on the dot, is what I tell a customer. But this one, everything went well. I was a day and a half into the swimming pool, and we were pretty much done. And the customer came down, and he was pissed.
Oh.
And I'm like, at first I'm like, what's going on? Why are you mad? I mean, we got your job done, we're in, we're out, you can now move on, you got a beautiful yard. He's like, well, I paid for 3.5 days worth of work, not a day and a half.
Absolutely, yes. So that sort of could happen here to a degree, yeah.
Who the hell wouldn't want to watch me for 3.5 days, right? Brian laughing. All right, guys, I want to say thank you for hopping along on this journey with us. It was a busy couple weeks. We completely took this addition, which had nothing done to it, and transformed it into a cave. Now, the system was easy. This rock system was easy to learn and install, and I actually really loved working with it. So I'm thinking I'm going to try to do a few more projects with this fake stone in the future. I'm going to attempt to do something with the stone facades to see how easy that is to work with. But I'm going to put a link to all the tools and all of the information that you guys need if you want to tackle a project like this on your own. Now in the next video that we're going to be taking on, we're going to show you guys how we installed the floor, but more importantly, how we made the drain for this shower completely disappear. When you're standing in this room, you can't see where the water goes. It's all underneath the flooring system, and that's coming up in the next video. It's pretty cool what we did, and I'm going to share that with you next time. So make sure you guys stick around.